Hey, welcome to another Linux Audio Soliloquy video. This video is going to be a bit different. It's going to be a bit more personal about stuff that's on my mind right now and stuff that I feel like I need to figure out. That's also why the name of the video is What Now? And for this I prepared a little slide so that I stay organized through this recording, and let me share this slide now with you. So what you see, I want to structure this into a kind of an introduction, some updates, and then talk about some next steps. And in the introduction, I wanted to just mention, for those who don't know me so well, that I came from a background of running my own company in Switzerland for a little bit more than 25 years. It all started out with sound design for DVDs and CD-ROMs, and then kind of transformed into multimedia projects, and towards the end it became more and more kind of a web development studio. At peak we were like 13 people, and for a long time it was amazing. It was a lot of fun. Towards the last 3 or 4 years maybe, I feel like I slowly burned out a little bit. There was never an official diagnosis, but I felt this for myself, especially after closing the company after 25 years. And in that time when I closed the company, I actually went on a healing journey. I wanted to lose some weight. I wanted to heal a hernia that I had for many years, and started to get really complicated and started to hindering me live my life. And for this, I wanted to go somewhere. Because of a friend, we then actually ended up in Thailand, and actually fell totally in love with the place. But during that time, when I closed the company, this more time for music production was actually also something that was in focus. But I didn't manage to actually make this a reality, because pretty quickly it was clear that we would have to do something in order to be able to stay here in Thailand. And so a great opportunity presented itself to us in the form that we had a building here where we had our bungalows rented that was falling apart, and the landlords allowed us basically to use that building to start our business, to renovate that building and do something with it. And my wife and I, at that time, we had a couple of ideas of what to do, and decided what to focus on first. And the first thing we focused on was building an ice cream shop out of this place. But here on the list it also says that I felt like kind of pressured to go into this venture, and it's of course like it was an all-in, all-out situation where I knew that if I want to stay here, I have to found a company, I have to invest money, I have to renovate this structure, make it work, make the business work. And you know, in the beginning, this like, which direction do I take? And because it was such a great opportunity, it was a lot of fun here and a good vibe, good mood, my wife and I decided to go into this venture, which we still think was actually amazing, a good decision to do. But at the same time, it was a difficult situation because I was still not healed from my hernia. Also this post-Kubus Media time opened up some personal problems around mental health, I would say, where I all of a sudden felt very fearful oftentimes. And so it was a difficult time. I was healing from the hernia, which was amazing. I had the surgery, everything was good. At the same time, I went through lots of these processes, learning about my fears, my compulsions, and starting to really focus working on these. At the same time, building a new business, at the same time, manage expectations. So it was an intensive time, but that's basically the introduction part that I wanted to give you. And then the updates part is actually, first I want to tell you a little bit about Love You More, which actually is our company now here in Thailand, and what the status is, and what kind of progress we made. And I think for this, I want to show you quickly the website of Love You More. This is the logo of our brand. This is Rakun Makun in Thai, means love you more. And our claim is basically love you and love all. No? So that's basically this. And then when you when you want to learn more about this, you can go to the website and read a little bit on the why section here in the menu. This is just basically the philosophy behind all of it. And what we have so far is we renovated this beautiful place here at the entrance of the waterfall on the tallest mountain here. This is one thing, and the other thing is that we are still working on finishing the sauna. The sauna is actually more progress now than on this photo. This is a bit an older photo, but yeah, this is basically the two things that we created. And you know, the thing is, we have actually already quite a bit of success. Like we have already now in these 3 months that we have the ice cream shop open, we developed kind of a fan base already, like people that return and come because they value that it's raw, that it's vegan, that it's no sugar, that it's all natural. And so on that side, it's amazing. We see a lot of potential. On the other side, we are in a situation where they have some problems come up, and yeah, some unforeseen complications. And so yeah, this is the next point here on my slides. These unforeseen complications, basically, I don't want to go in too much detail because it's also like changing every day. For me, it was very difficult to at least at all understand what actually the problem is. And maybe other people who did a transition like this came from a country like Switzerland to a country like Thailand. I don't know, maybe I can be excused of having had this impression that everything here is much easier, much simpler, and much more relaxed. In the beginning, you get this impression because most of the things are really laid out in front of you so that everything seems very simple. There is a path. You want to create a company, this is the path. You want to have a work visa, this is the path. And after a while, you realize that most of the things that seem very simple in the beginning are actually not so simple, because the processes that you go through in some cases are even not legal. And yeah, again, I don't want to say I am not guilty of, having not known these things, because I could have done my research, of course. But then also some of the experts give you, I don't want to say wrong advice, but they give you the impression that everything is very simple and everything can be solved. And now, a couple of years later, I know that it's actually not that not that different from, for instance, how it is in Switzerland. Most things are very strict, are very regulated, and have strict paths that you should follow. It's just that most of the people here do not follow them. And when I say most of the people, I mean most of the lawyers and accountants and stuff, right? I think it's wrong to say most of them, but the ones that I met. So after a while, I learned that some of the things are actually more complicated than thought in the beginning. And the only problem connected to this is that in order to fix these things, in order to get them right, in order to bring them into compliance with the laws, we need to invest more money. And so that would then be the last part here. We have spent almost all our money here already. We of course made also some money already, like not only with the ice cream business, but also with my wife does coaching. I do online music teaching, stuff like that. We also made some solar projects here on the island with some friends from the solar industry. So there was some money coming in, but it runs out quicker than it comes in at the moment. So this for Love You More. So that's basically this. Then for Linux audio development, I also would like to give you an update, because this is the other thing that is like, I don't know, maybe it takes a big chunk of my time every day. Like there is the Love You More, which takes a lot of time, the business, stabilize everything, make everything compliant, and it's a lot of work. A lot of fun, but a lot of work. And Linux audio development just as much. I am very enthusiastic about it, and the progress is amazing. And I would like to also give you an update on this. So for that, I would like to switch to the Linux audio development website, which actually has been completely rewritten. I think it doesn't make sense to show you the behind the scenes here, but what I want to tell you is that apart from the fact that there is now a menu, a navigation, and a search feature, everything has been rewritten in the sense that before, when I did an update, everything was static, markdown. I had to do all the changes in various places. Was a lot of work to maintain, and also I think would not have been feasible to open source it, which is one of my goals with this initiative. I want to open source the website so people can contribute, so that we can be a group of people maintaining this and that I'm not alone in this. And basically what I did is I created... Okay, so let me quickly show you something. I think it's better if I show you. So I will open up the repository of the website here. And this basically what you see is here, the website is still flat file based. It's made with Graph, a PHP flat file database driven website generator. And what I now have is I have made blueprints for the most important data types on the website, like artists, developers, hardware and software recipe, and the interviews. And this is, for instance, here one of these blueprints. Sorry, no, that's not the blueprint. This is a blueprint. This is, for instance, the hardware software recipe blueprint. And then this is how the data is actually maintained now. So everything is now dynamic, like, back to the website again. So that allows us basically to do things like when you look here at the carousels now have filters so that you can look for stuff. If you want to find something specific, they will show you how many records there are. These lists and everything, and also the table versions of these are all dynamically created. They can be sorted now. Again, also the tables can be searched. If there are like interviews, for instance, for a certain developer or artist, then you will have the links in place to go to these interviews. There are RSS feeds now available, many little optimizations. And then there's, for instance, one new thing, that's these hardware software recipes. The idea behind that came from the community, and it's actually the basic concept of it would be that people can look up working systems so that they can basically get an idea of if they want to start with Linux audio, if they have a certain audio interface or they have a certain computer setup, if it's feasible to use that, and what known issues there are. For instance, like here in my case with my recipe, you see my desktop computer, my laptop computer, then the software informations, what I use, what kernel I use, etc. Then on the audio production side, what DAW, what audio interface, what are my preferred plugin formats, and then some known issues. Like for instance, in my case, I have to run the interface in class compliant mode, in USB class compliant mode, which has some limitations in terms of tracks in and out. Count, yeah. And so basically that's that. And yeah, I think the most important or most interesting part for people about this website is the support request tracking, where you can see all the vendors that I have contacted, all the ones that I have not yet contacted. Those are the ones that are marked with to be contacted. Then you would see the ones that I have doubled down. You also see if some entry is new to the list. You see the ones that are considering supporting Linux, which is actually, there's a lot of interesting vendors in here. So in case you want to help, look up your most favorite, most missed vendor and contact them as well, because these are like on the brink. I'm not sure if they shall do it or if they shall not do it, but yeah, contact them. I think it makes a difference. And then there's the ones that are in progress, that are working on Linux support, and the ones that plan to do it, they have something that is blocking them maybe. And then there's also the ones who do not wish to support Linux at the moment. And again, in this list also you see the ones that are successfully already supporting Linux. And then again, if there's interviews, the links are directly there, etc., etc. So that's basically the progress of the Linux audio development website. My idea again is to open source it soon, to maybe have some sort of a steering committee or something, and work together on this project. So that's that. And then the next thing in the updates would be personal projects. So now, I mean, there's nothing amazing here to announce other than I am working on an EP called 2.5, a 3-track EP, and my new album, which I have like maybe 17 or 18 tracks selected, on a collaboration with Chris Eyre, my long-term studio friend in Switzerland. And the cool thing about this project is that we basically define a key and we define a tempo, and then we start to both work independently on material. We start to work on drums, on bass phrases, on synth stuff, recordings, and send them back and forth between each other. We both work in Bitwig on it. So we also try to only use Bitwig devices at the moment to make it easy to exchange the project, because he's on macOS and he has an armada of plugins and I am on Linux and obviously have a little less plugins. But yeah, that's it. We work on this EP. That's going to be a lot of fun, and I hope we make some progress soon. Although I have to say, we cannot spend so much. I think both of us, but I can only speak for myself. I cannot spend so much time on this right now. Yeah, that's that. And then I also try to continue to teach people Bitwig Studio, especially also in correlation with Linux. So that's about the personal projects. And then finances is the next step on my list. Which is kind of also the reason why I made this video in the first place. I just noticed that I feel kind of with the back to the wall, because I spend a lot of time for Love You More. And there I think we will have at least until the end of the year, until we can break even. And then I spend the rest of my time for the Linux audio development website. And right now I just have to focus on things that I can earn some money with. And what I actually want to ask you guys is whether you have maybe an idea, because for me, I'm in this complete brainstorm. Sometimes I have these anxiety attacks and then I cannot think clearly and cannot make smart decisions how to move forward. But so my situation is that mostly all of our savings are consumed. We still invest money, we still don't earn money, and there's more investments needed to make everything compliant. And so I ask myself, what should I do? Should I try to fulfill one of my oldest dreams and try to work part-time for one or several audio vendors, which would be something that I was dreaming of for a long time? But then again, there's my insecurity kicking in, like, why would they need me, or what would they need me? I think there's a bunch of things that could be interesting for them, but I still don't know how to approach it. That's one thought I have. Another thought is like intensify online music lections, like Bitwig Studio lections and Linux audio support, maybe paid Linux audio support. I don't know. That's like, I think about a lot of things, how to actually earn some money to sustain this situation here. Because for me, it's just like, if I don't make the Love You More situation work, if I cannot sustain this, then I simply will run out of money. I have to, even maybe worry about how to get my equipment back to Switzerland. Because I really have no buffer on the site. But I am very positive. I sometimes say jokingly that I do positive thinking as an extreme sport. But I am positive that there will be opportunities. And right now I'm just a little bit clouded. I have tons of things in my head, worries, ideas, tasks, duties, stuff that I need to do, stuff that I want to do. And it's very hard for me to make smart decisions right now, which is also the last slide here. So what to do now? Yeah, that's basically it. It's hard for me to think straight about all of this. Because I'm also constantly I wake up and I start to work, and if I have an hour left somewhere, then I do something for Linux audio development, and oftentimes I feel like I have no time to do anything, not even to make, to pull out a little bit and try to get a bird view of everything, My wife is much more positive than me most of the time. She just thinks we should just work on ourselves and our thoughts, like think positive and move forward and it will be amazing. And for me, it's like an up and down, a left and right. And so that's why I wanted to make this video. For one thing, to say I'm sorry that I didn't do any other videos because I simply had no time. And to explain a little bit what was going on, tell you a little bit about the progress that we made, for instance, with the website. And also I encourage you guys, have a look at all the amazing new plugins that came out now for Linux on the Linux Store website. I will put the link in the description, so make sure to check it out. Tokyo Dawn Records, Circle Audio, like so many interesting things are coming out now, and so many more are in the works by the vendors. Yes, so I would be super grateful if you maybe have some inputs for me, what you would do in my position in order to stabilize everything and not have to sacrifice any like passion projects, you know, because that's of course also an idea that I have in my head is to just sell all the audio stuff and just focus on stabilizing Love You More. Yeah, but again, some days I think, no, that's never a possibility. Other days I think, oh, maybe I will be forced to do that. But yeah, that's my situation right now. Okay, so but overall, if you would ask me if I'm happy, I would say yes, I'm happy. Like 90% of the time I'm really happy. I'm happy here in Thailand. It's amazing here. It's beautiful here. What we've built is amazing. I'm proud of it. It just needs a little longer, and I need to find a smart way how to balance everything and still maybe find time to do the things that make me happy the most now, like for instance music making. I don't know how about you, but for me this is like a universe that I can spend time and create acoustic landscapes, and I just forget about everything and I'm just in pure bliss. So would be nice if I could preserve this for the future. Yeah. Okay, but I think that's it. That's what I wanted to say for this video. I will try to do another video soon. I have a huge backlog of interesting stuff, lighter stuff than this one, than this video. And of course, also if you think like, yeah, that's nice and good, I have no idea, but then also let me know what else you have in terms of input. If you want to see something specifically about Linux, I was also thinking about doing plugin reviews of new plugin releases, stuff like that. Many ideas. Not so much time, but yeah, that's it. Thank you very much. I look forward to your feedback and stay in contact in all the different ways. Okie dokie. All the best to you. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.